multiple roles. However, we're giving them knowledge. We're giving them knowledge, and then we're also giving them other people to help with this process. So actually, they won't be taking on all these different roles. They'll be having two or three other people along with them to help them with this process.
Thank you so much to both of our debaters. My name is Sarah Sanchez. I'm the National Program and Communications Manager at NODL, and I am so excited to introduce to you our first questioner panelist. You know, iResolve is a unique format, and one of the things that we were so excited about here is that we have a long period of engagement here where our debaters will take questions from some of our experts, then they will integrate that feedback into their final speeches. So with no further ado, I'm excited to bring to the virtual stage Elizabeth Santos, who is from the Board of Trustees for the Houston Independent School District. And once Elizabeth has joined us, I will leave you. Elizabeth, the questioning stage is yours.
Hi, y'all. Thank you so much. Your debates were both insightful, and I appreciate them. Right now, the Houston Independent School District has a police committee addressing the police roles in schools and basically how the police in schools contribute to the school to prison pipeline. Many have argued that having police in communities of color incites more violence. However, my question to you, Mohammed, is going to be, when there's an absence of a police or in socioeconomically disadvantaged neighborhoods and in schools that are in socioeconomically disadvantaged neighborhoods, people don't feel safe because they believe that police are there to protect them, which in oftentimes they are. I was a teacher for 10 years in Title I schools. So in what you propose, Mohammed, how will that absence of police kind of, how can we bridge that gap if there are no police, and how will people feel safe if there are no police on school campuses or in communities of color?
Right. Thank you very much for that question. I think there's like two things here. The first is a clarification on the plan. Police presence, or like the police's ability to respond to crimes and calls, doesn't decrease at all because we don't cut into that budget whatsoever, just because we're reallocating funds that are going to like social work and mental health. But the second thing is currently police are doing a lot of jobs that they don't need to be doing, which means we have like over policing. And like, I agree that the presence of police right now can like give this sense of safety or this guise of safety. I think that once we limit police to just policing, people are going to know that whenever they call the police, not only do they respond efficiently, but they also like don't have like they aren't as prone to violence, and there's less of a chance that you're like, for example, going to get shot by a police officer, especially if you're in one of those marginalized communities that you're talking about. So I think this one will increase the sense of security for people, and they trust the police more, increases community relations and improves it. And second, the plan isn't really cutting much into police's ability to actually respond to crimes. So I don't think that'll change.
I think we have a mic muting issue for the moment. Sorry about that, Elizabeth. My colleague muted your mic for feedback. And classic technical issue in a virtual world. Can we hear you now?
Yes, I can. I apologize for that. I did read that and I forgot to unmute. Sorry.
You are totally fine. I'm going to leave you, and you just want to start from the top one more time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so Amaya, you said that you were addressing this issue by three different things. You're creating additional funding for each department, for the police department, changing the police culture, and increasing funding. So you specifically mentioned that you're going to the root of these issues, but of the issue. However, I'm going to push back because it is my belief that police were created with a bias. So the fault does not the fault does not lie in the police department, but in the systems that were in place that created the police department. So if the root of the issue is the police department, how are communities of color going to be affected when you increase the power of the police department?
So in my plan, we're not just freely giving the police department, like, here's like an extra amount of money for like whatever you want to use it for right now. We're specifically implementing these plans for education, one, and then also implementing like these social workers, like I mentioned on case, these social workers, and everyone else that'll be involved in the process of educating police. And that's how I plan to when I say solve the root of the problem, which is like the bad police culture that I talk about on case as well.
All right, y'all, I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.